Well, hello, Dixie Belle family. It is Melissa coming to you live from the Top Drawer RVA. I am here with you today at my scheduled Wednesday 3 p.m. time to hang out, talk all things Would You Bend, Dixie Belle paint, and how to achieve a beautiful Mad Hatter look. So welcome. If you're a first timer joining me today, welcome to the Dixie Belle paint page, and please let me know where you're watching from. I love to see where all my fans are watching from, and if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. All right, if you're ready to play with some paint, I'm ready. Let's do this. All right. We will start with Would You Bend, okay? So Would You Bend is an amazing product because Would You Bend is a bendable, stainable, amazing molding. What Would You Bend can do is basically all the properties of wood, all the things that wood can do, but what it also can do is bend. It's really cool, and I'm going to show you how to do it, and we're going to stick it on this gorgeous little chair over here, okay? So Would You Bend is sold from Dixie Belle. It's a company based in the UK, and they make these amazing moldings. I think at this point they have over 3,000 designs, and they have some that are exclusive to Dixie Belle that you're not going to find anywhere else. So if you want to find those Would You Bend moldings, I did attach a link above my head where you can find your local retailer, or you can go ahead and try your own. So let's jump in. Let's play with some Would You Bend. Are you ready? All right. So this gorgeous chair I picked up at a local thrift store. It's a little crazy how pretty it is. It's so pretty. It's such a pretty piece. And I'm going to tell you how much I paid for it because I'm super proud and super thrifty, and I paid $4. I paid $4 for this beautiful chair. It's crazy how beautiful it is. It has these gorgeous chunky legs, and you're gonna see them because I'm gonna tilt the camera down and you're gonna be able to follow me in an ombre painting. But we are gonna add some Would You Bend, and I wanna show you why we're gonna add some Would You Bend to this project, okay? Because this little project is not without its defects. I had to clean this like you wouldn't believe. It was dripping dirt and grossness. It was really, really dirty. So my White Lightning was to save the day. It came to my rescue. I cleaned this entire piece with White Lightning, and then I actually did Boss this entire piece. I used my Boss in clear, and this will prevent any bleed through, odors, stains. It stops all the grossness, okay? So this beautiful little chair was coated in clear coat in Boss. All right, so I will put that down and let's move along and let's talk about Would You Bend. So yes, it's pretty. Yes, it's beautiful. Yes, it has all the things. Do I need to add Would You Bend to it? No, but do I want to? Of course, because I want it to be extra. I want this chair to be Mad Hatter ombre, and we'll get to the colors in a minute because I picked some really cool ones, but we're gonna do gold gilding. We're gonna use our Moonshine Metallics. I'm gonna paint all of these little beautiful sun rays in black and white. It's going to be super, super fancy. But you can see that there is some missing veneer here in the corner, and it's right on an inset piece of this little chair. So rather than fill this in and try and fight with the difficulty, let's play with Would You Bend and cover it up, okay? So I have a couple pieces of Would You Bend here with me today that we're going to use, and I'm going to teach you how to use them. And they're my favorite bits. And the technical term for me is scrolly bits. I call these the little scrolly bits because I don't know what they're called. They're beautiful flourishes. They're gorgeous. So this is why I love Would You Bend. I can cover up damages. So I can take that little damage right there. Let's take these gorgeous Would You Bends and stick them right on the front of the piece, right? Which way do we want to do it? Do we want to do it this way, or do we want to do it the other way? I think I want to go this way. So we are going to heat them up, and we are going to stick them on the front of this chair. See that? Then we're going to paint an ombre madness. Then we're going to get crazy with some Moonshine Metallics, and we're going to paint them in gold. So here's how you use your Would You Bend flourishes, okay? You need to heat these up. They come flat. See this nice little flat Would You Bend? You are able to heat this up with a heat gun and or a hair dryer, okay? What's going to happen is when you heat it up, it's going to become bendable, malleable, and you can then shape it to your piece. You could wrap it around a leg, you can wrap it around the top, you can do all sorts of crazy cool things with it, and you can stick it on anything. It's amazing, all right? So products that you're gonna need for today is wood glue, and actually Dixie Belle sells this as well, a heat gun, and your Would You Bend moldings. This is how we're going to do this. And I'm going to tilt this down so you can see, because I want you to be able to see exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to cut off my own little head, but I want you to be able to see how we're going to stick these on. Another little handy dandy tip of the day, mark your piece before you do it. So I've kind of lined them up and marked this with a pencil so that I know where my straight line is, because I don't really want to sit here and stare at it and wonder, how am I going to stick this on? The next little handy dandy tip of the day is put some blue painter's tape over here to be your extra hands. That's going to help you once you get it up here to kind of stick it to that vertical surface before we heat it up again and ensure that it's flat. So you're going to flip your little wood you bends over. Let me double check, make sure I know what I'm doing here. Go this way, yes, this way. All right, so we are going to flip them over. You can see them down here. I'm just going to do this on the raised surface up here on the chair so that you can see. All right, I'm going to turn on my heat gun and we're going to heat them up. And I'm going to bend one so that you can see how bendy they really get. So this heat gun works. You could also use a hairdryer. You could also use a griddle. I've seen people set up a griddle and heat them up on a flat surface so that they're super bendy and warm the whole entire time. That would be pretty cool. Since I don't cook, I don't have a griddle. I paint. I have a heat gun. So this is what you do. You heat this up. Once you feel that this is hot enough, and you can check it a couple times, don't burn yourself on your heat gun, all right? Let's not do that today. You can see that these start to become bendy. See this bend? It starts to happen. I want it even hotter. So let's heat it up a little bit more. All right, let's put the heat gun on the ground so that I don't have a small fire. And what I'm going to do is take this glue with a small paintbrush, super messy, totally my style, and I'm going to paint the back of this little wood you bend. By using a tiny brush, or you can use your fingers if you rather. Yikes, I'm going to be wearing my glue in a hot second. You're just going to mush it around and make sure that the entire back end of the surface is now covered in glue. All right, let's come back up here. Let's turn the chair so you all can see and put the glue down so I don't spill it everywhere. And stick it on your piece. Super easy peasy. All right, I want to line it up so that I'm going to be able to cover this little, what do you call that thing? A little chip, that little mark. So I'm just going to stick that like that, I think. Let's make sure where the other one's going to go. No, there needs to be a little bit higher to cover that mark because I want them to be the same. Okay? So by sticking it on here, ensuring that it's stuck to my surface, I can use my blue tape to, come on, stick it on. So there you go. If you get any extra glue on there, you can just wipe it off with your fingers. It's not a big deal. And I know I'm covering up all of these scrolly bits that are on this chair, but that's okay because when I do this painting job, you're not going to see these top lines. I'm only going to accentuate these bottom ones. Okay, so there it is. I'm going to stick it up. Let's use my handy dandy extra little hands with my tape. Now, second step with wood you bend, hit it again with your heat gun. This ensures that it's directly flat to your piece, okay? It's already warm. It's not going to take a ton of heat. I'm just going to check now, make sure that it's flat, okay? So now I'm going to do the second one in the same manner, and we're going to cover up that missing piece of wood. Wood you bends are amazing for covering damages. The wood you bend trim fixes so many problems. I've used it so many times to cover missing pieces of drawer edges, to cover an entire, I rebuilt an entire midline bar in between two drawers with scrap wood, and I covered it in wood you bend, and it was amazing. You couldn't even tell. Otherwise, the dresser would have been trash. I mean, it saved the day. Plus, look how cute that is. When you paint this, I mean, I feel like I need to add all of the things to this piece. Okay, so let's check the heat on the wood you bend. See how bendy it is? Bendy, bendy. All right, let's get out my glue. I don't know where, oh, there's my brush. It's like, I don't know where my brush went. Well, it kind of fell in my glue, of course. Because if you all know me, I'm a messy gal. I'm not very neat and tidy. I usually sit in my paint, get it on my face. Last week I realized after my live video, I had a nice big gel stain swipe directly across my cheek. It is what it is, people. We get messy and dirty around here. We play with our paint. All right, so I want them to both be the same. I want them to cover that missing piece of veneer. And I'm gonna look at it from the front and make sure. Let me put this glue gun down, or this heat gun down. So once they're on here, you can kind of move them around for a few minutes. You have a little bit of time. You're not stuck right away when you stick it down. You're not like glued on. You can totally move it around, get it exactly where you want it to go. And it's covering now that missing piece of trim. They're both even on the top here. They're both even to the center. I'm touching the side more on this one than I am on this one, so let's move it over a tiny more. And now we're even Steven. So I'm gonna tape this guy up here too. Remember the second step to would you bend is hit it again with your heat gun. This is just ensuring that you have made this completely flat to the piece. Now, here's the deal. You can lickety-split paint over top of this right now. You don't have to wait. It's totally on there. It's stuck. Because you're using wood glue to adhere this to the piece, you are able to just jump right in with your paint and get it done. Super fabulous, right? Super easy peasy. All right, I'm gonna put on my old lady glasses so I can see what everybody's saying. Throw me some hearts, throw me some love. Let me know you're loving what I'm doing here. I have another set of would you bends to put down here, but I'm debating. I'm debating if I need to do this or not. Like, am I doing a bit of an overkill by adding it here and here? I feel like this is more the center of attention. I'm gonna save these and possibly when I turn the chair around, maybe add them to the back. What do we think? We'll see when we get around there. All right, so who's ready to play with some paint? Who's ready to play with some color? I have some really great colors over here today. You wanna see what we have today? This is what's gonna happen today. I was totally inspired by this gorgeous butterfly picture that was cobalt and aubergine and plum crazy, because you know my brain thinks in Dixie Belle colors. So today, this gorgeous Mad Hatter chair is going to be plum crazy. We also have some aubergine, cobalt, and Bunker Hill blue. All right, I'm gonna hold these all up so you can see this amazing color combo. Let's see if I can do it without dropping them. I might not be able to. Look, this is what we're doing today. We're going to put all of these gorgeous colors on this chair. When you look at these colors, what do you see? You can see a really simple transition between each color. I'm going to start with Plum Crazy, move along into Aubergine, head down into my gorgeous Bunker Hill, and then we're going to finish off with this Cobalt because I used it last week and I kind of fell in love. And when I'm obsessed with something, I do it all the time. All right, so let's aim this camera down here to the base so that you can watch me paint. Let's do it, all right? So we're gonna tilt this camera down, and as you know, I sit in my living room, on my floor, in my bare feet, and this is how we do things, all right? There we go. Everybody can see? Everybody can see. So we're gonna start at the bottom, and here's what's the plan for today. Let's do the front two legs, this piece, and this piece. Yes, I will paint the chair all the way around, but for the sake of you being able to see what I'm doing, and I want to come in and add the gorgeous black and white kind of starburst up here. I'm going to see if I can get it dry enough and play with some metallics. This is what we're going to focus on. Ready? Let's go. All right. So today's first color is going to be Plum Crazy. Plum Crazy is this gorgeous, gorgeous pink color. If you have not mixed Plum Crazy and Aubergine yet, what the heck are you waiting for? It's the best combination ever. They go together so well. Here's the next little thing you're gonna need when you're painting. A spray misting bottle filled with water, as well as a brush for each color, okay? Today, I have a brush on the floor for each color. They're all flat mediums and one beautiful round large. Because I haven't used it before, I'm making myself try new things. We're gonna use this today and see what kind of blending we can get with this one too, okay? So let's start at the base. Everybody can see what's happening down here. We'll get playing with paint. So this chair has been cleaned with White Lightning. It has, yikes, it has been bossed in clear. I'm going to use my flat medium brush, one brush for each color, and I'm going to dampen my brush, all right? By dampening my brush, what that enables me to do is to kind of get my paint to go on a little bit smoother Gets rid of some brush lines. You don't have to be worried as much about that second coat going on. You'll see me use it more on the second coat than the first. And your paint will have kind of like a self-leveling to it anyways, but it just helps minimize all those brush strokes. So let's put on this gorgeous Plum Crazy. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. So here's what's going to happen. Because this is going to be an ombre blend, and if you have followed me before, you know that when I do my ombre blends, I don't ombre them on the first coat. I lay down the initial colors to make sure that I like where they're going to live. After I look at them a little bit and decide what's going to happen, then I'll come back in and ombre them together. But for now, because I'm going to stop here, let's do this little bar too. Because I'm going to stop here, it's going to be easy for me to continue over with pink with this Plum Crazy when I'm off camera and finishing up my chair. But you know, I'll go over to my Facebook page after this and we will work on it together. If you'd like to follow me on Facebook, I did put the link above my head where you can come over and follow me. I am Melissa from the Top Drawer RVA. And what is RVA? Everybody always says, what's RVA? RVA stands for Richmond, Virginia area. So now you know, you learned something new today. So I've got this gorgeous pink. Can we still see the base here? I can see my hand, so that is a yes. I'm just gonna lay it down. I'm thinking all of these little scrolly bits, the technical term, I don't know. If y'all know what style this chair is, please fill me in. I wanna say it's like Empire-ish. I don't know. Somebody will know. Somebody watching on here is a smart cookie, and you can tell me what style this chair is. Is it Jacobean? I don't know. I might be totally making stuff up, but that's the way I roll. I know that it's going to be Mad Hatter delicious when I'm done with it. I do know that. Okay, so now my pink is down. All these little scrolly bits are going to have metallics on them. I'm going to be painting really pretty gold inlays. I might even come in here and do like black and white on these little tiny bits on the legs. Why? Because I can. Because this chair was only $4 at the thrift store. And I'm gonna paint it insane. We're gonna paint it all of the things, which is my favorite. So switch your brush, dampen your brush. Why do I like the flat medium? People always ask me, because it's light. It's really easy to hold for me. I know that Dixie Belle is having trouble right now with brushes and keeping certain things in stock, but stay tuned. They are working hard because these brushes are handmade. The person that is making them and sending them to Dixie Belle is taking a little bit longer due to COVID related issues, okay? So everybody needs to have patience. At the end of the day, patience, right? Patience. How we doing? Should I put my glasses on? See if there's any questions? Somebody up there. See, it is Jacobean. I knew it. Aaron knows things. He's smart. He's a smart cookie. Thank you, Aaron, for telling me. Actually, this would match, if it wasn't insane colors, with your beautiful buffet that you did last week. Aaron painted a gorgeous buffet. He is a retailer in Florida for Dixie Belle Paint. And he did a really pretty Jacobean buffet. It was turning heads everywhere. It was very popular. Really nice. So as always, if you wanted to shop any of these paints, the link above my head will take you directly to the Dixie Belle website. And there you're going to be able to find your local retailer. And if you don't have a local retailer in your area, you can always shop online. But we would love for you to be able to find your own local retailer so that you can buy all the Dixie Belle paint that you want. Right? Right. Okay, so now I've got purple down. I've got pink. My other two colors are Bunker Hill and Cobalt. I think I need to bring the purple up because there's more on the top of this chair than on the base of the chair, right? And I want to be able to see all of these colors. And what am I doing to the seat, y'all ask? I'm gonna cover it in fur, fake white fur, because why wouldn't I cover it in fake white fur? I think that is the perfect accessory to a gorgeous Mad Hatter look, right? I mean, of course. So you're gonna see a lot of blending on this chair, and don't be afraid of blending on top of, you know, all these little scrolly bits. Yes, it's a little bit harder to do. Is it impossible? No, it's just a little bit harder sometimes. And then, hi, I see somebody watching on there. It just takes you a little bit of time, a little bit more time, a little bit more planning, just to know you have to work that paint around the legs. But working with these gorgeous jewel tones, you're able to kind of blend a little bit easier than you normally would because they are thicker consistency, these paints. These jewel tones tend to have just that extra little bit of pigment, and you're not stuck with, you know, multiple coats like white. You're taking advantage of this really pretty pigmented paint, and you're able to get away with using less of it. And you know, after I turn the camera off, I'll be turning this little chair upside down to make sure that I didn't miss anything on the inside, because it's hard to do scrolly legs when you're on camera. So, all right, so we have Plum Crazy and this beautiful aubergine. The Plum Crazy and the aubergine have only had one coat, but aubergine is one of those paints that technically doesn't need much more than one coat. It really always covers extremely well. I always call it my one coat wonder. It gets the job done quick. That one and In the Navy are like the best for coverage. So I'm gonna go back to my Plum Crazy, and I'm gonna lay it back down over top, making sure that I've covered all of my wood. Anything with pink in it like this Plum Crazy does take a little bit more fussing, because you do need to make sure that you've covered all of your wood, and it takes more paint to cover your wood. It is a little bit easier when you do prime, and since I did prime with Boss in clear, I won't need as much, but I definitely want to make sure that I've covered my entire wood surface with 2 coats of Plum Crazy. So by using your same brush and applying that second coat before you blend things together, what's going to happen is you're not contaminating your brushes too much, because when you do start to blend them together, it's all going to get contaminated on this brush. And that's okay. I mean, that's what's supposed to happen. But I want to make sure that that paint is down and kind of pure before I start to do that. And you know I'm going to throw a whole ton of gilding wax on here at the end of the day. I mean, it wouldn't be a piece by me if it wasn't covered in gilding wax. And I know they're out of gilding wax too on the Dixie Belle paint page. Just hang tight. They will be back. They're reintroducing a beautiful new formula, a beautiful new mousse coming fall 2020. And you're gonna love it because I am obsessed. The gemstone mousse is so nice. All right, so let's do some blending, okay? So I'm gonna take my brush that has my aubergine on it. And I'm just gonna start to pull it down a little bit just to see what happens here. If you feel your brush dragging, you can easily wet it a little bit, and then it won't be as draggy. It kind of brings it back to life, it keeps that paint reactivated. I want to see what happens when I do the pink coming up as well. It makes such a pretty combination, this pink, Plum Crazy, and aubergine together. They're delicious, super, super good. Okay, so see all these little ridges and these little lines on this Jacobean style chair? It's okay. I'm just pulling these two together, and remember I'm going to be adding a ton of gold right where these blend, so it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal if it's not perfect, because I'm going to be changing and adding and moving that gold around. Okay, so you want to come in a little closer and have a quick see? Here we go. Now you can see that beautiful blend. Actually, I should probably leave you like this. It's legitimately laying up on the back of a dresser. The entire thing could fall over. But let's be dangerous. Let's take a chance. See what happens. If it falls over, that's okay. All right, so I'm gonna keep blending this pink, Plum Crazy, and this aubergine together. I'm gonna go back to the middle with my aubergine. I was actually even debating painting this interior section black and white stripes, but you know, who knows? It could still happen. It could still happen. All right, let's go over here. Add just a bit of some of this aubergine and go back in with the Plum Crazy. Do you see how far up I'm holding my hand? I show you guys this every week. Do you see how my brush went from holding like this when I'm painting regular to holding it up high on the bristles? Holding it up high over here on the bristles helps me control those light feathery movements, helps me kind of get the paint in a more precise spot. So let's just pull them both together. So pretty. Honestly, Plum Crazy and aubergine I think are kind of my favorites. And again, it's a chair. Yes, it's hard to kind of dig around and make sure it's all coming together. If I miss a spot, don't yell at me. I'll come back in and make sure it's fixed when I do my finals. And if it's not fixable, I'll throw some gold on there and call it a day, and it will be fixed. I'm really impressed with my fancy pants photography skills right now, balancing the tripod on the back of a dresser. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Okay, Plum Crazy, aubergine. Aubergine, I feel like I need to add a little bit of Plum Crazy up here. I kind of want to lighten up this area a tiny bit. So let's wet my brush. I also have on the floor some paper towel. So if my brush feels like it's dragging because there's too much paint on it, you can kind of blot it off a little bit. I don't spray my piece, I spray my brush. It's much easier to control by spraying a brush than spraying the piece. If you spray your piece and your water drips down, you're gonna be sad and cry because you've ruined your pretty, pretty blending. So this chair cover, remember, is gonna have fake fur, kind of like spilling over the top. It's gonna be super fabulous and super extra. Let me put my glasses on. Even though you all moved in that much closer, I still can't see what everybody's saying. Gold totally makes everything all better. I put gold on everything. So today I'm gonna be using Moonshine Metallics to accent my piece in Gold Digger. And it's gonna be all over. But this is a lot of stuff going on this chair, y'all. Like there's a lot of detail. So I'm not gonna be able to finish it all in this live. You're gonna have to come over and follow me on my own Facebook page. So let's pretend we've got Plum Crazy, aubergine. I wanna add my Bunker Hill up here. Let's start painting up here with Bunker Hill. And then later I'll transition the Bunker Hill and the purple together because I feel like if I do this now on the sides, well, I guess not. Do you like my little contraption of my board on wheels down here? I get super crafty when it comes to trying to show you exactly what's gonna happen. We'll just put a little bit of purple. How about that? We'll just bring a little bit up here. And I'm gonna wear it. Wear the purple. And again, remember I'm painting the back side of this chair off camera or actually over on my own page. I won't be getting it all done today. This is just so I can show you the transition. Okay. Okay, it's all good stuff, all good stuff. Let's move on to our next color and move the camera up so that everybody can see, okay? We're hanging in. Here we go for a little ride. Let's go back a little bit. Look at that, nobody fell over. I didn't step in paint yet. I didn't sit in paint yet. Good things are gonna happen. Good things, good things. I am trapped on the floor, but let's see. All right, let's go up a tiny bit more. I need your lazy Susan. I need like a whole like lifting mechanism of sorts. I need something that can just somebody needs to come over and film me while I'm doing this and I wouldn't have to worry about it. It is what it is. All right, so next color I have is Bunker Hill Blue. What I like about all of these jewel tones is that when you are painting in these similar jewel tones, you are able to transition so much easier when it comes to ombre. It's not a hard transition to make because they're so similar. They're so close together that the ombre becomes like seamless. It becomes super, super seamless. I get a lot of questions about how brave I can be with color and how wild that color choice was. Yes, the color choice is wild, but do you see how fast it is to blend them together? Because they're so close together in that beautiful jewel tone, it's just super, super easy. All right, so I have to take these off, y'all. I can't see close up when I have those on. And now I can even take my tape off. Like these, I could have taken my tape off minutes ago, but I forgot. Look at how cute that would you bend is. So cute. You can paint your would you bend before you put it on, and then like put it on after you've painted. Or you can paint over top of it and then come in with your gold. It's entirely up to you with how you decide you're going to attach them. I always seem to put them on first. I think it's because I don't want to go completely to the edge with my gold when I'm painting. Plus, I feel like when you add paint over top of them, it makes them more of one with the piece. It really does. It really pulls them all together. So this Bunker Hill, so pretty with the purple. Let's get it in, all the little edges. My gorgeous flat medium brush, my fave. I don't love painting chairs, y'all. Painting chairs is kind of tedious with all the little, you know, bits and bobs. But this chair kind of is fabulous. So I do love painting anything that's fabulous. Plus I get excited about things like this. I mean, why wouldn't I get excited about a crazy gorgeous chair like this? Look at it, so pretty. I need an assistant photographer and an assistant paint holder. Anybody want to apply? Hang out with me? Paint some furniture? You will be covered in paint by the end of the day. And you must like dogs and kids. It's part of the requirement. So I'm just pouncing my brush in here. I find it easier when you can pounce a damp brush in all of these details. It just covers that much easier. I tend to do this a lot. I know technical term is probably not pouncing, but it's my term of the day. It's what I'm going to be doing, pouncing this paint in. So now can you see this gorgeous vision start to happen? How I'm going to be adding some amazing black and white, some amazing gold gilding. I mean, come on, it's going to be so good. Can you still see? I just want to make sure I got this edge. It's hard to make sure you guys can see all this angle and cover everywhere that I need to cover. Because I'll do the back after. It's not going to be hard to seamlessly match the back when I'm making sure that I've got all these little edges. So how's everybody hanging in? How's the Wednesday hump day going? What are you guys painting today? Anybody doing anything fun? Anybody painting anything amazing? Okay, let's turn this chair back around. Here's the other thing about chairs. So where do you grab it after you've painted every single square inch? Okay, so now I've got this gorgeous Bunker Hill. Putting this down where it's gonna live. I'm gonna switch brushes again. Remember, one brush for each color. So now, we're getting crazy, y'all. I'm not gonna use my flat medium. I'm busting out a brand new brush. This is the round large. I'm a little nervous. I'm kind of a creature of habit. Don't like switching stuff up too much, but we'll see. Maybe I'll love it. Maybe it'll be my new fave. You never know. Look at that cobalt. How crazy good is that? So good, right? Crazy good. All right, let's check it out. It just feels weird. It feels super weird to hold a different paintbrush. Let's start with these gorgeous wood you bends. Interesting. I don't hate it. I know that a lot of the ladies love some round brushes for blending. Maybe it's just what you get used to. I know what I do love though is that cobalt. Can there be a prettier blue than this? Oh my gosh, so nice. Actually, it's working really good for getting in all these details. It's nice and fresh. It's not crusty. It's nice and easy moving. All right, I'm kind of digging it. I'm not a convert, but I'm kind of digging the brush. All right, so I'm not blending yet. Remember, I'm just getting it in. All of these little pokey details. How good is that color though? Oh my gosh, it's so good. Such a good color. Should I come back up here with some aubergine right at the top? Ooh, maybe I should put some Plum Crazy. Since I started with Plum Crazy, do you think I should add some up here at the top? Would that be a good idea? Vote. Give me your lowdown right now. Tell me yes, you crazy nut, you should add Plum Crazy to the top, or no, you need to stop being a nut. Should I do it? I feel like I need to. It's gonna happen, y'all. It's gonna happen because you know what? It's almost like you're completing a circle, right? I've got that Plum Crazy at the bottom and I'm gonna want to transition it just up to the top. Not a ton, let's just baby the top, I think, with some Plum Crazy. What do we think? Should we? What does Plum Crazy and Cobalt look like? Let's find out. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love this chair. I love this style of furniture. I don't often get something that's as fancy pants as this, but when I do, man, I love it. Okay. Let me see what's happening over here. Come on, you little chair, turn around. Let's see what the comments are saying. I have to put my glasses back on, you guys. You know I can't see. Colors of royalty. Let's see. I do get, I get excited about paint. Does that make me a weirdo that I get excited about trying new things and trying new paint? And honestly, with the amount of colors that Dixie Belle has, how can you not get excited about trying new colors and new color combinations? I mean, it's just paint. I've had to repaint things before. If that happens, it happens. I buy majority of my pieces to paint with you here live on the Dixie Belle paint page. So I get to be the boss of me. If I want to add some crazy colors, I do. Let's go back to the blue. Let's go back to Bunker Hill and just quick touch up, because now that the chair is turned, I'm seeing a couple little spots that need a little bit more Bunker Hill. Just on these little scrolly bits on the inside sides. I do recommend, if you're painting chairs, flip them upside down and then flip them back around again. It does make your life a little bit easier. But I just don't have the opportunity to do that right now with you all. Okay, let's see what happens when we put some Plum Crazy on the top, okay? Let's check it out. Let's see what's gonna happen here. So let's go back to the Plum Crazy brush and see what we're gonna do, all right? Let's check it out. I mean, I don't dislike Plum Crazy and blue together. I do know that it's gonna be a harder blend to achieve, but I kind of feel like the very, very tips of these pieces should be, they're gonna turn out purple because blue and pink makes purple. But at least it'll be a purple that's similar to the Plum Crazy, right? What do we think? Is it cute? I think it's cute. Let me pounce it into all these details and then we'll do some blending and see what happens. So when I wet my brush and come back in here, it makes it so much easier for a damp brush in all of these little scrolly bits. It just gets in there so much easier. Okay. Turn in the chair, turn in the chair. Good call on adding a tiny bit of the pink up here. I just ran over my paintbrush with my wheels. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go back to my cobalt, if I can find it down here in my menagerie of paint. I'm going to, with my clean brush, add in that second coat. And then we're going to play and pull these colors together. Not gonna lie, I'm not loving this brush. I'm a sucker for the flat medium. I think that it is going to stay my favorite. Maybe I just have to make myself use this brush more to get used to it. But when it comes down to business, my flat medium, I don't know, it stole my heart. It's got my heart. It's easier to hold, I think, too, up closer. I just put blue paint on me. I know I did. I felt it. I felt it. Okay, so let's blend some of this really pretty Plum Crazy and Cobalt together. Because there's only one coat of Plum Crazy at the top, I don't care. I don't want a ton of it. I just want to see what happens when I start to drag this up here. I'm going to do little circular motions. I feel like this brush is calling for circular versus like straight back and forth, which is what I'm used to. I'm actually not hating that. I'm really liking it. It's looking really pretty. Is that paint on my forehead? Or is that just dirt on my phone? Are y'all hanging in with me? I know that this is not everybody's style, but you know what? I think that it's important to get in here, play with your paint, have some fun with your furniture, practice on something like this, my $4 magical chair. You know, if you don't practice and try it, how do you know if you're gonna like it or not? This might turn out to be like your most favorite style of painting, and you would never know because you never tried it. So that is my advice to all painters. Paint something crazy every once in a while. Have some fun with it, because I think you need to kind of have some fun in your life. You need to have some whimsy in your life. Look at that little blend. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It turned into the most gorgeous purpley blue color. You guys, look how good that is. Look how good that is. Can you see how pretty those colors are coming together? So let's finish with the Bunker Hill. And then if we can get it dry enough, I will start playing with some black and white on that little starburst, and we'll play with some metallics, okay? Because the Bunker Hill is so dark, that pigment, you're not stuck with having to add layers and layers and layers of paint. You're getting away with using less paint because it is that really nice rich pigment. So you're able to just kind of do that one coat. And I can always come in, because this is kind of like a pure Bunker Hill area, I can easily come in and add more paint. I feel like I should put some more cobalt down here though. Why? Just because I said so. I think I need to add a little bit lighter right there. My brush is dragging, so let's dampen it up a tiny bit and do this. Yeah, it needed to be just a touch lighter there. You guys, I think it's easier to blend with a flat medium than it is a round, for me anyways. I think that is what I have learned from this little experiment, is that this is the way I do my blending, and I'm able to really pull it together. Ta-da! Okay, let's pull the camera back so you can kind of see what is happening on this piece. Whew, it's getting hot in here. Getting hot. Must be the heat gun. On the bottom, down here, we have this beautiful, beautiful Plum Crazy. Plum Crazy comes up into Aubergine. Aubergine is coming up here and touching my Bunker Hill Blue, and then my Bunker Hill Blue is coming up into Cobalt. At the top of the Cobalt, I added a tiny bit of purple, actually Plum Crazy, but it turned purple when I mixed it together, and it's looking so good. This part is looking good. So let's go down to the bottom here where it's dry. Let's play with some metallics. Y'all in? What do you think? I did that fast. You think so, Rima? I have to work fast because my attention span is not good. And if I don't work fast, I will get bored. I will get bored. Okay, so let me move these beautiful brushes over here and spray them with some water. This way, they will stay wet and I'm gonna be able to wash them easier. Okay? I'm gonna take off my glasses. We're gonna put some lids and some paint so I don't sit on anything, because you know I will. And we're gonna play with some Moonshine Metallics. Who has tried Moonshine Metallics, and what is your favorite Moonshine Metallic color? Do you have one? Because mine is most definitely Gold Digger. I like Gold Digger because it is super bright, super pigmented, and you don't use a ton of it. This container lasts me forever and ever and ever. It lasts and lasts and lasts. I have some craft brushes over here on the floor, and we're going to play with some gold. All right, y'all in? You still hanging out with me? Let's see, should we try and tip this back to where we were before? See if we can tip this stand. Oh my gosh, I did it. Nobody fell over. Perfection. All right, so Moonshine Metallics, Gold Digger, gorgeous Jacobean legs, right? See these pretty, pretty, pretty legs? All of this ombre is looking good. We have to decide where we're gonna put gold. So these little crafter brushes down here, they're nothing fancy. What do I wanna do? Do I want to paint these bits? Or do I want to paint the inner bit and leave that bit? Decisions, decisions. Let's start at the bottom and see what happens. I think I want to leave the foot pink, so I would paint the next stripe gold, right? Or should I do that bit gold? I'm being super indecisive. Can you see this tiny foot down here? You can see it. So the gold is going to take a couple coats. Moonshine Metallics definitely go on a little bit easier if you have a like-minded color underneath. So if this was beige or white, this Moonshine Metallic and Gold Digger would go on probably with less coats than it will take me on this this kind of over top of the Plum Crazy look. Can you actually even see underneath this tiny? So I've got these little bulges on the legs. I think I just want to paint the little circly bits. So obviously this is not going to be something you can do quickly. This is a precise, take your time, you know, sit on the floor and paint a couple layers of paint, but look how pretty. So pretty, right? I mean, the accents, the Moonshine Metallics are so good. You could also, if you wanted to, use your gold gilding wax and rub it on. You could also use your Moonshine Metallics, or no, sorry, not Moonshine Metallics. You could also use your mousse, your new mousse that's coming fall 2020. It's nice and thick and pasty, and you would be able to get the same amount of coverage. But so cute. Okay, so I've got one here, one here. Should I do this bit, or should I skip that bit and come up here? I think I need to come up here. And I can't do it with glasses on. I need to do this freehand. Look at how pretty. So you could use any color from the Moonshine Metallics to do this. This would be gorgeous in rosé. This would be gorgeous in that beautiful silver bullet. I mean, heck, you could do it in green, deep woods. It would look adorable. But my theme for this entire piece is gold, color, black, and white. And then that's gonna look super delicious and good. Okay, so I can't do that one because it kind of runs into this one. So now, after one coat, And you need to really wait for it to dry before you come back in and do your second coats, because you're gonna find that if you put Moonshine Metallics on a wet surface, so say your paint, what the heck? I feel like these legs are actually like a little bit different, but I know they're not. My eyeballs are just telling me that they're different shapes. If you find that you're putting your metallics on before they're dry for their second coat, it's kind of gonna be defeating the purpose because it's gonna pull back a little bit and you're not gonna get the same amount of cover. So just be patient and wait for them to dry all the way. Once they dry all the way and you add that second coat, the vibrancy that you get is gonna be so much more. It's gonna be super pretty. So it looks like, as of right now, this is kind of as far as I can take you because I can't do my black and white up there until that's dry. Once the black and white goes up here, I'm gonna also be accenting that wood you bend. I'm gonna obviously be turning the chair around and doing more paint on the other side because I haven't even got to that side yet. And heck, I might even add more wood you bend to the back of this piece because why not? Why not play with your paint and have a lot of fun? What do we think of this fun, whimsical chair? Is it royalty? I feel like it's gonna go in a princess room with this beautiful white fur seat that I'm gonna add. It's gonna be so good. My daughter will probably tell me that she wants to keep it, which is what she says to anything that's painted in beautiful colors. I think it's fabulous. I think it's really cute. I'm gonna tilt you back. Yay, nobody fell over. I'm gonna angle the camera down. This is it for me. If you want to see me finish this piece, I need you to go to my Facebook page. It's linked above my head in the bio, and you are gonna be able to follow along. I won't paint this without you coming along for the ride, all right? That's a promise. This will be a piece that I will paint live. I'll do the entire thing live, and that way you can follow every single step and you're not gonna miss anything, and you can learn how to do this as well, okay? So let me give you a quick little recap. Plum Crazy, Aubergine, Bunker Hill, Cobalt, and then I did a little bit more Plum Crazy at the top, okay? I'm gonna come in here with my Moonshine Metallics, and I'm going to add this beautiful Gold Digger. I'm gonna come up here to this middle part where there's kind of like a sunshine, kind of a beautiful striped area, and we're gonna paint that black and white. I'm gonna be doing that in Caviar and Fluff. And then we're of course gonna put gilding wax on everything because that's my favorite thing to do. What do you think? Do you love it? It's fabulous, right? It's super, super cute. I suggest that everybody goes to find a fun little cheap thrift flip, okay? The fact that this chair only cost me $4 is the best. I mean, it's an amazing deal. But number two, why not try and paint fun, fabulous things on items that are not super expensive? Because you can try new things. I wouldn't try this on a buffet as a first timer that cost me, you know, hundreds of dollars. Those are the projects that you want to save until you've built your skill level up and you're ready to do that. But on a $4 flip, get nuts. Paint all the color, have some fun with it. This really isn't a very hard project to do because these transitions of colors are so easy. They are just melting into each other. You're able to do this very fast and very easily. All right, thank you for coming and hanging out with me today on the Dixie Belle Paint page. I'm happy to have you join me. As always, if you have any questions, send me a message. Send me a message on my Facebook page. I am Melissa from the Top Drawer RVA, and I am happy to hang out and play with paint. All right?